you.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Hello, Amanda, Arlene, everyone else.
Hi, nice to see you guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Hi.
Oh, we got Carolyn.
So, yeah, okay. We'll give a few more minutes to.
Is that what Montana looks like?
That's what
Oh, jealous. Jealous.
behind me. I'm trying to hide the sunrise.
Oh my God, it looks amazing.
Don't hide it. We want to see it.
We have a lot of people coming in to join us right now, so we're just going to give them another couple of minutes, but not too much time. And I'm going to just warn you guys in advance to make sure we get to everybody and there's enough time. I'm going to have to be a little bit of a timekeeper here and make sure that we, roughly have 5 minutes a person or a camp to talk, so that I don't get emails about anybody who's had too much time or not enough time and all that kind of stuff. Keep it fair and we'll keep it moving. So
Give us the proverbial hard break, right?
yeah, hate to do it, but it's
Timekeeper.
the fairest thing to do, right?
Hi, Steve.
Absolutely.
Hi,
Thanks for joining us.
great to be here.
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
Hey,
Eileen, are you going to have questions at the very end for all the directors or after each one speaks?
No, we wait to the very end to see if there's, because we're not 100% sure how much time we're going to end up having, right? If someone.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Hi, lady.
still letting a lot of people in here, which is nice. We have a great little turnout.
What's up, everyone?
hi.
Hi.
Good stuff.
Daniela, are you on? You're a co-host as well, right?
I'm here. Sorry, what's the question?
The question is just that once I get started, if you see people in the waiting room, can you let
I'm
them?
letting
in?
them in right now.
Okay, because I might not see them.
Let people in, so I'll take care of that, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do you think we should get started or we should still wait a minute?
I think we can get started.
Okay,
I'll
awesome.
let people in.
All right, great. I am going to share my screen. And as I said, appreciate everybody joining us for this joint Hurlbut and WIS event to talk about what Summer Camp 2021 is going to look like and learn from our camp advisors, Melissa and Amanda, and hear from some great camp directors. So I'm super excited for this personally as well. Good timing. I think we all need something to look forward to. And just wanted to start out with Melissa talking a little bit about her background and her approach to camps, and then we'll hear from Amanda, and then we'll start going through some of the actual camp directors. So Melissa, if you'd like to start, I have your slide up. Can everybody see that okay?
Yeah, I may have you scroll down in a minute just as I get to the talking points quickly, but I should be okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Post. I live in Westport, so sort of in the hood around the corner. And I work for Camp Specialists. Arlene Streisand runs it. She's actually on the call as well. And I've been working with her for almost 6 years. And quick background on me, I was a camper for 9 summers in Maine, did the all girls 8-week full summer uniform camp thing, and was a little camp obsessed. And 3 of my best friends in the world are still my camp friends. And my daughters will actually be going to the camp I went to this summer for the first time, which is pretty exciting, with one of my best friend's daughters. So it all comes full circle, and sort of fell into this camp, consulting thing, if you will, helping families figure out what camps might be right for them and based on their children's needs. And Arlene laughs at me because I sort of tell her it's a little bit like a hobby because I just love what I do so much and would do it as much as I could. So it's really fun to meet people and talk to them and learn about their interests. And I've learned a lot. So just in being super quick, keeping of time, actually, could you just go back, Eileen, to the other screen, just to the bottom of it really quickly? So I'm just going to talk. Amanda and I are going to, get you guys covered on a couple main things in terms of camp. So one of the main things to think about if you're really not familiar with the camp world is that there's all different types of camps. And part of what we've done today is try to bring you directors from all different types of camps. So there's both different types of sessions in terms of camp. So whether it's a full summer camp, which now is really like 7 weeks, or a half summer camp, which is really like 3.5 weeks. And then sometimes there's camps that have 2-week options, and some camps are full summer only. Some do half summer and full summer. Some do half summer only, and some do, a 2-week starter and then a 4-week. There's all different types. So depending on what your interests are, what your child's appetite for camp might be, what you might be comfortable with, that's part of the process that Amanda and I try to help you with to figure out what's right for you. And then there's sort of specialty camps versus general camps. So camps that might focus more on arts or sports or something more specific, horseback riding, theater, that especially as kids get older, they might start to focus on a little bit more. And then, the large majority of camps that we work with are general camps that kind of do it all and really try to get your kid to try different things that they might not try at home, and learn about other things. And then fundamentally there's what kind of camp is it? Is it a single sex, all girls, all boys? Is it co-ed? Or is it what we often call brother sister, where there may be camps that either share a property but are kind of separated during the day, maybe see each other at night or as they get older. And so again, depending on what your family makeup is, what you might be interested in, we work with all of these and we try to help you figure out what might be of interest to you. From a basic programming perspective, camps sort of range on a spectrum from much more structured, especially when kids are younger, where kids are trying everything. They're going to try kayaking whether they want to. They're going to try lacrosse whether they want to. They're going to try pottery whether they want to super, super elective, where they get to really define what they want to do, whether it changes every week, every 2 weeks, and it's a lot more flexible. And then there's sort of everything in between. I'd say the large majority of camps become more choice oriented as the kids get older. But again, knowing your child and what they're looking for and what you sort of view camp as for your child, structured versus elective can be something that we can really help you think about. And then finally, just from a common questions perspective, we get asked all the time, particularly this summer, which Amanda's going to speak to. Obviously, it's a bit of a unique summer with COVID and things like that. But traditionally, a lot of camps will do tours during the summer for the following summer. Camps are sort of still figuring out whether that's going to happen this summer, whether there will be tours while camp is in session, as well as before and after. So especially if you've never gone to camp, or your child, it's hard for them to wrap their head around what it might look like, it can be a really productive thing to go and see the camp in action and, get to meet the directors. And in lieu of that, or sometimes to complement those tours, we often encourage, director meetings, having calls with directors, doing a FaceTime or a Skype, then maybe your child, they'll come to your house sometimes, whether it's outside on a porch, maybe right now, or inside your home. And again, we really encourage families to get to know the director so that they can really feel comfortable. And I often say it's not so much what the director says when you ask questions, but really how they answer the question and just getting a sense for their personality and how you feel knowing you're going to share your child with them for the summer. I know I spoke quickly, but that's just kind of an overview. And then Eileen, the next slide is a little bit more just the process of how we work, which actually I think Amanda's going to talk about, and they're pretty similar. So I'm okay if I'm out of time. I could run through this quickly, but I'm okay just passing it to her at this point, if that makes sense.
Yep. Amanda, you're up.
Okay, great. Do you have my slide?
Yeah. Sorry, I think we're just slightly out of order then. We'll go there.
Perfect. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this meeting. I'm excited to be a part of another Weston PTO camp meeting. Some of you might have come last year. We did it in person when the world looked very different, but I was excited to be able to do this virtually. So thank you, Eileen, for organizing this, and thank you to all the directors for being a part of this. I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, talk to you about some benefits of camp, talk to you about general COVID protocols and measures, and then how to select a camp. So it's nice to see some familiar faces. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amanda Rothline. I'm a fellow Weston mom. I've lived in Weston for almost 8 years. I have 2 boys, Jonah, who's in 7th grade, Liam, who's in 4th grade, and today they're both at school, so it's a good day. In my former career, I was an elementary school teacher in New York City, so I definitely know the importance of finding a nurturing environment where kids can flourish and be happy. And just like Melissa, I was a diehard camper for many years. So I definitely am a true believer in the valuable experiences that you can get that camp offers. So in addition to making lifelong friends, it also provided me with the lifelong skills to be able to take chances in my life and feel confident in doing so. I've been a camp consultant for about 6 years. I work for the camp experts in Teen Summers. I'm an independent contractor, and I provide families a complimentary service that I tailor their needs to match them up with the best camp. So the process is we speak, I learn a little bit about your child, their interests, their personalities, what type of camp you're looking for, and I tailor my list to fit those needs. And then I'm with you throughout the process, guiding you, giving you more information about the camps, and helping you narrow down your choices, helping you set up calls, giving you questions, setting up home visits when necessary, and really till the end, until you choose your camp. In the summers, I get to visit the camps and see them in action, keep up with any updates, and just get a real pulse for the camp. And in the off season, I speak with the directors regularly just to hear about any relevant updates. So now I'm going to speak a little bit about some of the benefits of going to camp. Obviously, it teaches children independence and individual responsibility. So for instance, having to make your bed every morning, having to pick out your own clothes, keeping your bunk tidy with your bunk mates. It helps with adapting and coping mechanisms. Obviously, leaving home for the first time can be a bit scary, having to trust others to take care of you, having to make new friends, put yourself out there. Kids get to prove to themselves, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Obviously, experiences of trying new things and new activities builds confidence. You get to make new friends. You have the opportunity to meet people from all over the country, different parts of the world, and you can feel a part of a new community outside of your home and your hometown. Kids learn to live and get along with others. And it's also an opportunity for kids to create a new slate and kind of have a different outlet than their normal day-to-day. Okay, so moving quickly along to some general COVID protocols and measures. Each camp will speak a little bit more specifically about that, but something just to know, the biggest thing is that safety is the #1 priority at all these camps. It always has been, but now in a more heightened way. So this summer will look a little different in the beginning, but the goal is to create a COVID safe environment where campers will mostly have a normal summer from that point forward. And it's also good to realize that by the time camp starts, these owners and directors will have had about 15 months to prepare for the summer. And a couple of the camps that are here today actually did operate last summer successfully, so they can speak in more detail about that.
Amanda, sorry to interrupt, but we are going to have to turn this over to the camp directors at a quarter after, or we're not going to be able to get through everybody.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly talk about how to select a camp, and then we can move on. So things that you just should consider when looking at a camp are different, as Melissa said, different session lanes and different program structures. And the importance of, it's really important to find a camp that aligns well with your child's interests and their personalities and their readiness. It's also key to know that the camp will be attentive to your child's social and emotional needs, how the camp communicates with families, and a little bit about how their hiring process is, where counselors, background checks for counselors, the age of counselors, and where they're coming from. So all of those things are kind of mainly the things to consider. There's obviously more, but I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, and I hope it was helpful. And thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks to you both. The first camp that we have up is Camp Walt Whitman. I don't have the name of who's associated with which camp, so.
I think Carolyn.
Carolyn.
is here.
Okay.
In Montana.
Good morning. From Montana, my husband and I moved our 3 kids to Montana for 9 months just to make the most out of this pandemic. So behind me, you see the Montana sun rising. Jed, my husband, and I are the directors of Camp Walt Whitman. It's been in Jed's family since 1948. He is on school bus duty, so he's not able to join us because our kids are in school full time here. So he is driving down the mountain to take our 3 kids to school, but it's been in his family since 1948. We are a traditional co-ed sleepaway camp. We're located in Piermont, New Hampshire, which is about 4 hours, less than 4 hours from Weston. As you see on the screen, we have a couple of different session opportunities. I mean, we really are mainly about 70% of our families are 7-week families. So we are a full summer experience. For new families, we do offer a 4-week option and a 3-week option. We currently don't have any spaces in our first session, so we only are enrolling 7-week campers and 3-week campers at this time. We also have a 1-week program, which is known as our Pioneer Camp for younger kids, 1st and 2nd graders. So for the young ones who might not be ready for the full summer experience, it's a great way to experience, you know, the magic of Walt Whitman. And then we also offer a family camp. So for any families who aren't quite ready to send their kids to camp, but are diehard campers like Amanda and Melissa, you can join us for a week at Walt Whitman this summer. So lots of different session offerings that will really fit for your family. But I do say to families, like, if you know you're always going to be a short session family, then Walt Whitman isn't the right fit for you, because there is the expectation that finishing 8th and 9th grade, by that time, the kids have transitioned to the 7-week experience. So that's how we sort of move through our different sessions. You know, at CWW, our Camp Walt Whitman, CWW as we're known, you know, I think we're known to be a very well-rounded community. You know, kids who attend Walt Whitman, the way that our schedule works is that there's 6 scheduled activity periods in a day. 4 of them we program, and 2 of them they get to choose. So it's a nice mix of structure versus elective. And then as they mentioned earlier, as Melissa mentioned earlier, as they get older, they get, you know, 3 choices, and then they get more choice. So there is more choice as campers age through our program. All of our instruction is done by gender. So we are a shared campus. We are a traditional co-ed camp where boys and girls will see each other throughout the day, but all of our activities are done single sex. We're not a camp that has socials, so our evening activities consist of superhero night, capture the flags, campfire. So there is a bit of a co-ed environment at night, but it's more of like your traditional like campy with lots of face paint and lots of like running around and lots of joy. When people ask what type of activities we offer and what type of, you know, camper, what type of child does well at Walt Whitman, I tell families, you know, it's the sort of well-rounded child who can be an expert in lots of things, but doesn't have to be, right? So the way that our instruction is set up is that they're going to come, they're going to try a little bit of everything. We have sports. We're known for outdoor adventure. We have a beautiful waterfront. We have a pool, art, wood, ceramics, you name it. Like, we offer it at Walt Whitman. And when we're hiring our staff, we hire cabin counselors whose only job is to be with your camper all day long. So we dedicate our staff to being cabin counselors. They're dialed into like the whole child, right? The emotional, social, mental, the whole child, their experience at Walt Whitman. And then we also hire what we call specialists, and they're our coaches and our teachers, and they're the ones that lead all of our activities. So we have a large staff at Walt Whitman, but you as parents know that you have these cabin counselors who are with your child all day. That doesn't matter if they're 7 years old or they're 15 years old. Our coverage of staff are the same. And we hire, all of our staff have to have finished at least their freshman year in college. We don't have any junior counselors. We hire no high school kids to work at Walt Whitman. We have an amazing leadership team of returning teachers and social workers and professors who come back summer after summer. And we're really excited to announce that we hired a child psychologist who is going to be with us all summer long and working at camp, just as we've all been through this crazy year. Jed and I are acutely aware of the mental health of our campers. And so we're excited to have Debbie join us, Dr. Debbie join us at camp this summer, just to be one more adult who can spend time with our children and make sure that they're, having a great, just being kids, because they deserve it. They need it after the year that they have all been through. So we're really excited about that. And the last piece before I turn it over is, I think as you're figuring this out, and there's so many wonderful camps on this call and also out there in this world, it's exactly what Amanda and Melissa said, like, figure out what you need, who your child is, and what's best for them. And, a Walt Whitman is a well-rounded traditional co-ed experience. So for kids who are going to come and try a lot of different things, open to being part of this really warm, welcoming community, wanting to make best friends at camp, and really willing to try things, right? So we have kids who love to do sports at camp. We have a huge outdoor adventure hiking and camping program. So kids are hiking the White Mountains and doing mountain biking rides and whitewater rafting trips. And then also we have art, wood, ceramics. So they're able to do all that. So thank you so much for your time. And if you want to learn more about Walt Whitman, I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much for that. Our next camp up is Camp Manitou. Who do we have speaking about Camp Manitou?
This is John. Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
First off, thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Melissa, for organizing this. My name is John Darren. I am one of the owners and directors of Camp Manitou. I was actually a former camper. I currently live in Westport, right down the street from you, where I am here with my 3 children, all camp age. Manitou is up in Maine. We traditionally run a 7-week camp. We also have a 2 3.5 week options. You can go for the first 3.5 weeks or the second 3.5 weeks. Kids come to us primarily for sports. We're an all boys sports-based program that also has a comprehensive lake and creative activity selection too. We are actually one of the camps that did operate last summer, along with our sister camp, Camp Somerset, which is also on this call. Typically we operate, we operate a 7-week summer. Last summer we operated for 5 weeks. We ran at 70% capacity, using a lot of the same health and mitigation protocols that are in place now with schools and with other programs. It was absolutely amazing. We are thrilled to say that we had no positive COVID cases at camp. We are surprisingly, I think at this time last year, thinking there's no way we're going to be doing this again in 2021, but sure enough, here we are. We absolutely have a lot of confidence that this can be done, both by us and by pretty much all the other camps on this call and even more. We've been sharing our best practices with a lot of camps throughout the year, and know that what camp provides for kids, as it's been said, is just so needed right now. And that's exactly what we saw last summer. We ran at 70% last year. This year, we're prepared to run at 90% capacity. We are going to be running both of our 3.5 week sessions, although most of our campers are doing the full 7-week summer. It was excellent. There were some things that looked different at the beginning in terms of testing and cohorting and keeping group sizes small. But once we got through our testing, once we got through the first week at camp and retested kids at camp, we were able to open things up and have a very normal like summer, other than just keeping kids on campus and maintaining that bubble that we tried so hard to create. I will say last year, just some takeaways about the COVID experience at camp. When we were looking at trying to understand whether we were going to operate last year or not, outside of the safety issues, which were number one, we were thinking about what the experience was going to be like for kids. And part of our decision tree was, will a lot of the same outcomes be able to be achieved at camp that you get in a normal summer? Meaningful friendships, supportive staff, great activities, lots of outdoor and tech-free play. And in all those situations, it was an absolutely, and that's exactly what we saw. I've actually never seen kids as appreciative of being at camp and being outdoors as I did last summer. And I expect to see a lot of the same this summer. we were very fortunate that we have a great medical team at camp. I have a school psychologist, 2 psychologists on staff who are able to help us, obviously, on the health side of things, on the mental health side of things, prepare for what we might see. But once the kids got up there, the boys spent time with other boys. They were with their buddies doing things that they love. Camp got very easy, and everyone was just thrilled with the experience. Manitou, we offer 40 different activities. So kids come to us primarily to play sports, but they also get introduced to a lot of other activities at camp. We have a very comprehensive waterfront program, a great creative featuring a theater program that does 4 shows a year. Our kids come from all over the country. We even have some kids from outside the country as well. And I think that geographic diversity adds a lot to the comfortable feeling that kids have coming into camp that first year, that they know that kids are coming from all over the place. Not everyone is from the same area, and they feel very welcome when they get there. I know there are a lot of camps we have to get to here, so I'm going to pass it back, but I'm happy to answer any questions. And I appreciate you guys for inviting me here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was super helpful. This is Somerset Camp.
Hi, I'm Kate. I am one of the owners and directors of Camp Somerset, and we are the sister camp to Manitou that you just heard about. So a little bit about me. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I left my career as an attorney to follow my passion and take a big risk and open a summer camp. So we opened, this will be our 4th summer ever. We opened our first summer with 50 girls, and this year we'll have over 200. So things are going in a good direction for us, and we're happy and thrilled to have Manitou as our partners. It's been amazing. They're leaders in the industry and huge supporters of us. Had we not been able to have them, last summer would have been a challenge, but we did open last summer with Manitou. It was, like John said, exceptional. Seeing the girls just find themselves and relax and embrace each other by the end of the summer was beyond anything I've ever seen growing up at camp. I always use my daughter as an example. She's 8 and she adores 16-year-olds. And when I could see her hanging off of them by the end of the summer, I knew all the hardships were worth it. So we will open summer again, just like John said. We are a 7-week option camp with the 2 sessions. So you can come for 3.5 first or 3.5 second. We also do offer a short summer, which is a 2-week option for first-time campers in 4th grade and under. And that is kind of like an entryway saying, hey, get to know us, we get to know you, dip your toe in the water, and then go from there. We have limited spots for that, and it is completely full for this summer, so we have no short summer spots available right now. Our first session has 2 spots left, and we have a couple left for second session, so things are going great. We offer, similar to Manitou, 40+ activities. I will say I don't think we are a sports-based camp as much as Manitou is. We are very much of a well-rounded girls camp. So we offer the traditional sports. I always say softball, soccer, and tennis, and add in some of the other ones, you know, lacrosse and field hockey, street hockey. And then we have a very big gymnastics program. We built a brand new, very large gymnastics facility to house it because it is so popular with the girls right now. A theater program and a large and growing arts program. We keep adding kind of as the need and the desire is there. This summer we're adding a jewelry program. Our culinary arts program is probably the most requested in some ways because there's normally a sweet treat involved and everyone likes that. And our waterfront is fabulous. We have water skiing, wakeboarding, stand-up paddleboarding, inflatables, play structures, everything. We also did decide to put in a pool. So we have a heated pool that is used for swim instruction. So again, I joke, I think it's easier to get the girls in the water when they can't worry about it being too cold or fish or anything else. So jumping into a warm pool makes teaching them much easier. Similar to some of the other camps on the call, we've added a camp clinician this year. I think we're all seeing a change in kids and girls based on what we've all been through. And so having that extra support person is huge for all of us, for our staff, for our girls, for me. So we're excited to have Katie on board with us this summer. I don't know what else I should tell you. Camp is the best thing ever. I am a camper by heart. I love it. Our kids come from all over, similar to Manitou. I live outside of Boston, so I do have a lot of campers from that area. That is where I've grown up. And then I spend a lot of time visiting you guys in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. And then I think our fastest growing area of camp is the rest of the country. We just got a bunch of girls from California and Colorado and Chicago and Florida and Texas. And I always joke with my daughter that, you know, as soon as she's old enough and the world is better, she can go visit everybody. Because why not? That's what camp friends are about. So yeah, thank you again for having us. I love meeting all of the families.
Thank you so much. We are going to move on to Camp Laurel next.
All right, let me unmute here.
I think you did. Yeah.
Did I unmute?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, thank you once again to Melissa and Amanda and the camp experts and the camp specialists and Arlene and Joanne and Jack. You know, both organizations are terrific advocates for the camp experience and for the many families of Fairfield County. Debbie and I are residents of Weston. We're supporters of the PTO, and we obviously get great satisfaction when, you know, a family from our community comes to Camp Laurel, but more importantly, regardless of whether it's Laurel or not, you know, we get, you know, kind of a lot of satisfaction when a child is able to experience the power and the magic of camp. And there are so many different types of options out there, from full season 7 weeks to, you know, shorter sessions to specialty camps. And it's just, you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing for a child for so many different reasons. So we are the directors of Laurel, partners in Camp Laurel. We're a co-ed full season camp. What that means is all of our campers come for the full 7 weeks. Everybody starts together and everyone finishes together. We are located in Maine. Amazingly, there are 20,000 children each summer that camp in Maine. It's a new fact, actually, I recently got. Maine is wonderful. I still think it's kind of an untapped, so to speak, you know, kind of in our country in many ways. Breathtaking lakes, gorgeous state and national parks, wonderfully, wonderfully scenic. Camp Laurel, there are lots of different things that I think make us, you know, the place that we are and that we're very, very proud of. Just a couple of things to highlight. Well, we try and do everything, and everything we do, we try and do at a very, very high level. Attention to detail is something that's very, very important to us. And reinvesting in our facility is obviously something that's important. But when I talk about attention to detail, we're talking about taking care of each individual child. That's something that's very, very important, is definitely a real strength. Taking a very, very diligent approach to who we hire. And not only who we hire, but how we manage and how we partner with our staff and collaborating with them to ensure they're committed, caring, empathetic, and really, because being a camp counselor is a challenging job, and they need our support, they need our collaboration kind of in order to kind of provide that wonderful experience for the campers. The quality of instruction at Laurel is something that we think is very, very good and something we do on a very, very high level. You know, as opposed to having to send your child to a specialty camp, knowing that you can come to Laurel and, you know, get great instruction in a specific program area, but at the same time still get the general camp experience. That's something that's important, something that we've often focused on, and something that I feel that we do very, very well. You know, our ability to attract many different types of children. Want to speak to that?
Sure. So we're so proud of the community that we have at Laurel, and part of what we think brings richness to the community is that we do have lots of different kinds of campers, and we have different kinds of campers in terms of their interests. We have different kinds of campers in terms of where they're coming from, and we also have different kinds of campers in terms of their skill level, whether it's athletics, whether it's arts, whether it's where they are socially. And we feel really good. We feel like that diversity in our community brings, as I said, richness to the community. And we also think it allows kids to grow that much more.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, so did you say we're not a one size fits all?
I didn't say. You said
Okay.
we
Yeah,
are
so,
not.
so Debbie's got a great line. We're not a one size fits all. We're attracting a lot of different types of kids in terms of their interests. You've heard about geographic diversity. There's wonderful geographic diversity in Laurel all over the country. I grew up in Westport. Since we moved back to Fairfield County, or since we moved back to Weston 10 years ago, that base has grown, but we're well represented throughout the country and also overseas as well. However, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, kind of our international base this summer will really be, is not going to be with us for a variety of reasons. But most importantly, guys, kind of Laurel and, kind of, I think, really camps, Laurel's a place where we're most proud of the soul and the warmth and really creating an inclusive culture where we're really setting children up to succeed, building their sense of self. If you had to kind of really kind of hone in on what's, kind of what are you really trying to accomplish, building that sense of self.
Right. I think it's a lot of the amazing things you gain from camp have been mentioned. By Melissa, by Amanda, by the other camp directors. I think the one thing I would add is that one of the greatest powers of camp is in helping kids find their voice, and that stepping away, taking a distance from the grown-up in your life, from mom and dad or a grandparent, whoever cares for you, and realizing that I can still navigate the world with my own voice, independent of people who often will often speak to people and they'll say, well, if she's hungry or she can't find something to eat, she won't let someone know. And that's what camp does. It lets you learn that you can be your own advocate away from your grown-ups.
Thank you for that. That was a great presentation. Appreciate hearing from your camp.
Are we cut off?
You are cut off.
Just explain.
Cut off. Thank you, Eileen.
5 minutes is up. Sorry about that.
No, all good. All good. Thank you so much.
Next,
So chatty.
we have Camp Meadowlark.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Weinstein. I'm the director and owner of Camp Meadowlark. This is my 16th year owning and operating the camp, and it has been a blessing for my wife and I, as well as our children that have been raised within the camp community. Camp Meadowlark was formed in 1967 with an arts focus. We feature different types of arts programming in the performing arts, the creative arts, the visual arts, the digital arts, culinary arts, circus arts, specialty programs such as a dark room for film developing, a music recording studio, a film and video studio. We are lake-based. We are in Maine. That is a full complement of water sports. We have our own farm for horseback riding on site. As been mentioned earlier, Maine tends to draw from far and wide throughout the country and also the globe. Meadowlark is no different. We have the good fortune of doing so. Its founding was to fill a void for somebody considered non-competitive or non-traditional type of camper in every sense of the word. That has been the common denominator of all of our children ever since it has opened. We formulate our programs for children who are exploring and discovering and awakening through the arts. And this has been a tremendous thing for children who are a little timid or can be described as a gentle soul. This is who comes and does well at Camp Meadowlark. We have 2, 4, 6, or 8-week offerings. We have a buffet style meal where choice is first and foremost, an all elective schedule. Children choose 5 electives for a 2-week block. There's a 2-day drop add period, and every effort is made to really tailor the day to the specific child who is just looking to really explore. You may take a painter and never worked on a wheel, a pottery wheel, or have never developed film, or never have flown on a trapeze. And the comfortable atmosphere that Camp Meadowlark is providing allows the children to take that proverbial risk. And this is a lot of fun each and every year. We did open last year, like some of the other camps that are on the call. We did have a successful time of it. We did reduce headcount. We did reduce the length of stay. All of the guidelines and restrictions that were asked for were followed to a T, just like most anybody who did open. It was very rewarding. It was symbolic for the staff, for the children, for myself personally. We have a nice blueprint. In order to do that again, hopefully we are further along, and I think that we all are. But if we aren't, and we are faced with the same restrictions as last year, we'll be able to meet them and face them and work through successfully. If you'd like to speak with me at any time, please feel free to do so. I could be available at the camp number, and sort of wraps it up.
Thank you. That was great and perfectly on time. I appreciate that.
I tried.
Good job. All right, next up we have Island Lake Camp. Who will be speaking about Island Lake?
I will. Hey, my name's Odie. My wife and I, who actually met at camp 15 years ago, are the owners and directors at Island Lake. Island Lake is located in Wayne County, Pennsylvania. So just pretty much due west of where you guys, about 2 hours from Connecticut. We are an all-choice program, meaning we have 6 periods in a day where the kids will choose their 3 majors at home before they get to camp. Those are things that they just love to do. They'll do them every day. And then when they come in at breakfast on their table, there'll be a minor sheet. Well, they'll get to choose those 3 minors every day. So those are constantly changing. What happens with the program is they might be at camp, they're walking by the huge circus building or the indoor horseback riding stable. They see something they've never done it before, gives them an opportunity to try that. And then they're able to go back and we'll make announcements saying, all the boys come see Odie at lunchtime, and we can change their majors throughout the summer. So the kids will literally have full choice for all the program periods throughout the day. There still are 8 other periods throughout the day where they're still bonding with their bunkmates. But what this does is it's a driving point of culture for us. It allows kids not just to have those friends that are in the 10 or 12 kids that are in their bunk, but they're meeting 30, 40, 50 kids within the first few days of camp that they have something in common with. So it just allows that friendly feeling of really walking down the path through camp and actually knowing people by name. So that's a big plus for us. We have 4, 3, or 7 week sessions. I would say about 60% of our kids do come for the whole summer. This year, the most common sentiment is for especially first-time parents is they are enrolling in first session. And then if the kids like it, they want them to extend. So just because if you're looking for that, we're not sure, it's never been a way to camp, it's a great way to come in, enroll for first session, get your feet wet, see what you think about it, and then give us a call. One of the things my wife and I believe in is communication. No one knows your kids better than you do. So we want to work with you through and through throughout this summer to help us prepare ourselves as best we can to give your kids an amazing summer. Obviously, because our program is what really drives our camp, both with our culture, our facilities, and organization, our program areas are really, really diverse. I mean, major-wise, there's over 75 activities they can choose from. Minors, there's literally thousands. And we really encourage our staff and our kids to communicate with us to say, look, hey, Odie, we did this thing at home. This mom was literally telling me the other day about doing an inventing major. And I was like, well, I've never heard of that before. But if your kid comes up and talks to me and gives me the 3 things, the lesson plan accounts they want to do it with, an activity area they want to do with it, I'll put that on the minor sheet tomorrow. So we want to listen, and we're very flexible. There's not a lot of rigidity in what we want to do because that's the type of kid that we're attracting at camp. But so it's a very diverse, an indoor horseback riding arena, which is unheard of, a 50,000 square foot, huge circus program, indoor, outdoor flying trapezes, 2 lakes, 1 for motorsports, 1 for sailing and stand-up paddleboarding, an indoor skate park, indoor hockey, indoor arts and crafts, just a ton of different areas. So one of the common things that we see is we have so many siblings in camp because kids are different. And it's really hard as a parent to have kids at different camps. So if you can find that camp what your kid can appeal to, it's not just performing arts, it's not just creative arts, there's sports, there's water sports, there's extreme sports, huge ropes courses. So we're just appealing to such a broad span of different kind of kids. It really works for those parents. So, our COVID protocols, everyone's talking about, what are you going to do? We're, happy to jump on a phone call with someone and get in more depth about all the ins and outs. But the general concept is we'll ship you a PCR test before camp starts. 2 days before, we'll have the results. We're going to have parents drop the kids off this summer at camp rather than using buses because we're going to keep them together the first 2 days in cohorts. The company's going to come back out, do some mass testing again, And then the mask will come off once everything's negative and we're back into a regular program during the summertime. And essentially from there, we will allow the kids will take buses home. We're just not doing it on the way to camp. But happy to jump into a lot more detail with parents, on that. And yeah, so anyone that's looking for an all-choice program that can appeal to just about any type of kid, my wife and I would love to talk to you. So please feel free to reach out to us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I love hearing about all these camps personally. It's all new for me. So I hope everybody else is appreciating the time of all these camp directors. We're going to move on to Kenwood Camp from Connecticut.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hilton Wiener. I'm one of the directors at Kenmont and Kenwood. The accent may give it away. I'm not originally from this country. I came as an international counselor over 20 years ago to work at a camp in America, and I'm still here. Now live in New Jersey, and we are one of the sleepaway camps, obviously in Connecticut. In terms of last summer, due to the governor's mandate, we were not able to open, but luckily last week we got the good news that we are able to open for 2021, which we're obviously very excited about. In terms of our camp, so we run 2 single gender camps on the same property under the same directors. So Kenmont is for boys and Kenwood is for girls. We have separate cabin areas, separate facilities. There are certain activities which are done, which are shared activities, but obviously only done for boys or girls at a time. And our main reason why we like to be a single gender camp experience is because we feel when our campers are participating in camp, we want them to fully focus on the activity, not be distracted by anything else that's going on around them, and really get to enjoy and be in that moment with their fellow bunkmates. In terms of sessions, so we are a session camp. So either campers come for the first session or the second session. So you can't do the whole summer. So we're a little bit unique in that sense. We cram and put an entire full summer program into half a summer with all special days, color war, programming. So we give our campers the opportunity to, again, either do the first half or the second half of the summer. For 2020 and now for 2021, we were adding a 2-week program at the beginning of our second session, particularly geared towards younger kids who want to try out camp for 2 weeks with the hope that they'll love it and want to stay on longer. We are a uniform camp. We love the idea of campers not having to worry what to get dressed in every morning, takes away that social pressure about what they have to wear every day. And, it creates that sense of uniformity. Obviously, like most camps who are unplugged, we want our campers to be focused on having fun with their friends and really engaged in the summer experience. As a camp, we've been around since 1924, so we're approaching our 100th year anniversary. And we pride ourselves on our diverse program. We have over 50 activities in sports, both team and individual. An amazing waterfront program with 4 ski boats, a great ropes course adventure program, go-karting, one wheels, and then a really advanced arts program. What we often tell people is we like to be your partners in parenting when you're deciding to send your child to camp. We know that there are hundreds of amazing choices out there, and we believe that we can give you and your family a great option. So we have a lot of people who choose our camp because they like the idea of having their boys and their girls attend camp, but then they only have to go to one location. They don't have to go to lots of different places. Everything's all together at one. And something that parents often ask us is, how do we choose or allocate a camper into a cabin? So we really get you involved in that process. We like to talk with you, get to know your child, get to know your family, and really make sure that they're going to be with the right group of kids. Because ultimately, being with the right group of campers sets the tone right from the beginning of the summer. And we believe that that bunk experience really makes or breaks the summer experience. So, again, lots of amazing activities, but being with the right group of friends and connecting from day one is often, the thing that people ask us most about. So yeah, happy to answer any questions. Obviously, contact information is there. So reach out if you want to know more about Kenmont and Kenwood.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We are now at our last camp. Apologies for the jiggy screen here, but we are looking at camp What camp are we looking at?
Camp North Star, that's me.
North Star. Sorry, I'm not sure what's up with your JPEG. I'll try to fix it while you get underway.
That's okay. Thanks to Amanda, Melissa, and everybody at Weston for putting this on. My name is Stephen Bernstein. My wife, Brooke, and I are the owners and directors of Camp North Star. Home for us is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have 3 kids who are all camp age and are definitely counting down the days to the summer. We are located in beautiful Poland Spring, Maine. Like most of the camps from Maine, we were open last summer. So we definitely have experience in managing the pandemic. Thankfully, we had 0 cases of COVID last summer. We did that because of multiple layers of mitigation and on-site rapid testing, which we will have again this summer. To say that last summer was a success really is an understatement. It was definitely the most gratifying and fulfilling summer that Brooke and I ever experienced. It was so rewarding to see the campers come out of their quarantines at home and return to some sense of normalcy. Our campers are looking forward to this summer more than they ever have before. Our youngest campers are 7, our oldest campers are 17. We are a medium-sized camp. We have about 200 campers at any one time. And for us, it's the right number because it allows Brooke and I really to get to know the campers on an individual level. And that's something that our parents really appreciate. We have 3 sessions of camp. So we have 3 different arrival days. You can come for anywhere between 2 and 7 weeks. Our camper makeup is very diverse in lots of different ways. Geographically, in a typical summer, we'll have campers from 22 to 25 states. Last summer, because of COVID, we weren't able to have any campers from outside the United States, but prior to last summer, we would have campers from about 15 countries come to Camp North Star every summer. So that geographical diversity helps us create a real sense of family and community, and campers consider North Star their summer home and us their second family. The main foundation of our mission is helping campers make new friends, develop essential life skills, and learn important values. Campers really enjoy our elective-based programming. We are one of those choice-based camps. Campers pick their schedule every week. You have 6 activity periods. We have about 100 choices in arts, athletics, enrichment, outdoors, and waterfront. We really encourage our campers to try new things. They have the ability on Mondays and Tuesdays to change their schedule if they try something and they find that it's not exactly what they were expecting. And like some other camps, they've mentioned that having elective-based camps allows campers to make friends both within their cabin, but also outside their cabin, because the majority of our camps are co-ed. Waterfront is definitely one of our most popular areas. We have a private lake. Our property is 200 acres and we own the area all the way around the lake. About 50% of our staff are former campers, so they definitely understand the culture of Camp North Star. This is the 4th summer that we have a guidance counselor on our staff, and that's definitely becoming a more important trend with camps, so that we're able to meet the emotional, social, and behavioral needs, not just of the campers, but also of the staff. And if you're interested in learning more or setting up a Zoom call, you can contact me or my wife, Brooke, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. Appreciate Melissa and Amanda getting everything organized for us and all the camp directors that took time out of their morning. We have a few minutes left. I would open it up to some broad questions. I think maybe camp specific questions are best to direct to the individual camps given everyone on the call. So I have one question in the chat that I can start with. And if anybody else would like to put something in the chat, we can see what we can get through. Somebody was asking if the camps are prepared to take campers who have anxiety, ADHD, never slept away from home, take medicines, basically kids who need extra support, making friends and feeling successful in the activities or following a schedule. Are these camps all for high functioning kids, or are there some that might be more appropriate for kids that need a little extra support? And I don't know, maybe Amanda or Melissa, this is better for you to field in your experience.
Sure. Amanda, do you want to take this one? I don't know if she's heard that. Okay, I can speak to it a bit. I think this is a lot of why Amanda and I sort of exist as people out there to help people based on their own individuals' children's needs. I think every camp is a little bit different in terms of the type of environment, but I think every camp really does have ways of sort of helping kids through all of the different things that they may bring to the table. I think that, anxiety and ADHD are probably the most common things that these camps deal with all the time. I think there's just such a large portion of the population, for better or worse, that grapples with these things. And I think that's a big part of how the camps think about hiring counselors and these psychologists that a lot of the directors were talking about, and the medical staff that they bring in. And so I think, as we were saying, one of the most important things is connecting with these directors and talking to them so that you can share the specific needs once you've sort of identified the type of camp that you might be interested in, to just understand how they can, be there for your child and the types of things that they're, able to do and provide. And I can speak to the fact that I have twin girls who, one of them has a lot of anxiety and one of them would probably go to camp for 6 months and never look back. And, so much of what's important to me is just making sure that where she's going, they're aware of the anxiety she has, and, can make accommodations and just be aware of that so that they can address the issues when they have them. I will say really quickly that there's a difference, I think, and any of the directors can jump in, but there is a difference a little bit when you have, anxiety, ADHD versus sort of sometimes you have more severe special needs. And there are a set of camps that are really focused on particular special needs. So that is something that also Amanda and I can help with, depending on kind of what you're dealing with. And, some things that are really relevant in a school environment may not be as relevant in a camp environment and can be managed to, in a very mainstream camp environment. So I think the answer is yes. And it's probably good to just talk through the specific needs to figure out the best options.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. I don't have any other questions in the chat. If there are any other questions or comments from anybody on the call, any last thoughts? No? Okay, excellent. Then I guess, Daniela, that wraps it up.
I thank you so much, Eileen, for organizing this. This was really, really amazing. It was great.
Well, it looks like there's a question, Eileen.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. There's one that just popped in. Is there availability at the camps this summer? I know a few of the directors did speak about their particular camps and the availability. So I think the question is, depending on what camp you might be interested in, it would be worth looking into that sooner rather than later. Obviously, all the directors we invited do have some aspect of availability, or we would not have had them take the time out to, promote their camps to the group here today. So I think that's an individual question based on which camp you're interested in and how long you might be interested in sending your child to camp.
Eileen, just, we don't have availability for 2021. We, which I spoke with, kind of the powers that be before getting on this. But, we certainly are always interested in kind of speaking with people and helping educate them and pointing them in a different, actually, well, that's what Amanda and Melissa do, but we can certainly look forward to 2022 if that's somebody who wants to look at. And I say that just because I don't want someone to call and say, well, I heard this on the Zoom, how come you don't have space? But there's lots of wonderful options out there for 2021.
Okay, I stand corrected. They didn't loop me in on that one. Any other last questions? All right, thank you again to everybody. This was so helpful and informative. I appreciate everyone's time. And again, Amanda and Melissa for helping to organize the camp director's time. Thank you. If there's follow-up questions, you on the call all know where to go, and have a great summer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.